Hello, this is my tech demo 3. So the first region we're going to be graphing is the solid region. That is x squared plus 2z squared, and that's the lower bound. And then the upper bound is 18 minus x squared. And then there's also a bound where x has to be less than 0. So for that, I'm just going to show you, this is the lower bound. You can see that shape. And then here's the upper bound in green. This is you can see that that's going to cut right through there, and that's going to be this bound right here. And then we can also apply x is less than 0 and extend that to 3D to see that. So we can see that there's a pretty significant cut from both of these. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove those, and then we're just going to see the region that we actually want to be looking at, and that will be this region. So we can see x is less than 0, and then you can see a pretty significant cut going on there as well. Okay. The next region we're going to graph is the region that is outside the cylinder, r equals 1. So here is that cylinder. Um, it's important to note for this one, you can just type in r equals 1, but then you have to specify an angle. And so for this one, the angle is going to be between 0 and 2 pi. And then also something that's helpful for these is to do translucent surfaces. So that way you can see some of the other ones. The other bounds is that we had rho equals square root of 2, but I converted that to just the Cartesian coordinates, x, y, z, so that way we can see that better. So it's outside of the cylinder, and then it's between this red one and this blue one. So this is the equals 2. So the region is going to be right in between there. You can kind of see it when you zoom in, um, and it's best to see when it's translucent. So it's just this region right here that's outside the red and inside the blue. And then, yeah, so the red is there because it's not always confined by the red up here, but most of the time it is. Okay. And then the final thing is to, that's the second region we want to graph. And then I'll turn that off just so we can see our other one. And then we had these points, -1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, -1. So those are graphed in green right here. Those are just points separated by commas, that way they're all in one line. However, we have a transformation applied to that. And that transformation turns those points into these. And so we can see that they're shifted a little bit, and then we can turn that off. And then also they're defined by this plane, where x is between -1 and 1. We can extend that. That's not very helpful for this purpose. Um, between -1 and 1, and y is between -1 and 1 as well. So you can see that, and then the transformation is just making it the vertices instead of the like center points of each plane. And it's important to note for this region that I did do it in terms of XY, even though it's in terms of UV, just for simplification of showing the transformation. But yeah, thank you very much for watching my tech demo.